guys. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I'm just here to give you some book recommendations. I know I haven't posted anything in a while, but that's only because I haven't read anything in a while or even written anything. In the college environment, everything is so tech focused and everything is progressing so quickly. Sometimes I forget like what my real passion is, but I'm really glad I'm making this video. I'm in Vancouver now, and like it's a very different environment compared to being in college, so like that's why I feel really inspired to read and to write, and just in general revive my passion for literature. So yeah, today I'm just going to be giving some book recommendations to you guys. The first one is Poesis by someone whose pen name is Conduit. The actual author is Nikhil Umaid Singh, and he's a really great speaker as well. I've hosted events in Waterloo, and like he's attended two of them, and like he's a great speaker. Especially there's this poem about greed that he speaks really fluently, and it's so amazing to hear his voice and the way he says the poem. If you guys know me, you know that I love books that are about authors and the despair of writing, the agony of writing, the melancholy, the excitement, the abyss, anything related to writing that comes from writers themselves, and like how their personalities become once they become a writer. Notes from Underground, Disquiet Heart, these are like, I can't even say what these books mean to me, and which is why I really admire books about writing and art and the personality of the artist. And what I like about this book is that, like, all the poems are also about just, how an artist cultivates their art and how they get consumed by their art, and how there's a thin line between art and ambition, and how sometimes those lines just cross each other and like can make the artist a very disturbed person inside. And I just really love how Nikhil portrays it using really innovative formal features. I don't like seeing books as analytically, but like because I've been studying English for over 3 years now in college, everything's about literary analysis, everything is about, you know, considering what formal features were used, other than the content, what is it that makes the book so unique. And I really, when I was reading this book, I really, you know caught an eye for some things that Nikhil used that were very different from usual poetry work. Give me your ugliest, saddest, and scariest works. Better pain left upon a canvas than a lifeless body left to be found. Of course, we notice the flower floating lazily in the wind, but we often forget that the entire plant was once a seed, buried in the rough, enveloped in darkness, until it broke through and bloomed. I really like this one because it's really clever. Some take from the arts and give to their lovers. Some take from their lovers and give to the arts. Another really interesting thing I noticed was that there's this poem about a song that Nikhil writes, and then he also mentions which song in the brackets, which is something I've never seen before. For example, when a song evokes an emotion, sitting with it on repeat can help me explore why it does. It is incredible that music can even transport me to a time, place, and culture that I have never been to, that I have no connection to beyond the song itself. And then in brackets, he writes, for example, Con Cosmith by Ross Seresotia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, it's, I think, like, compared to other poetry books, I've never seen this, like, people using brackets to explain what they were meaning further, like to further explain what they're trying to say. um I think that's like a pretty innovative formal feature, and I probably wouldn't notice it if I wasn't an English major, but because I am, I just thought it was a bit different than usual. So there's actually a lot of references in the book. He references classic philosophers and songs and even Norse mythology. And he also mentioned that the cover itself is this reference to this world serpent that was in Norse mythology, which shows like a serpent eating its own tail, and then he tries to blend the tree of life with that. And if you look carefully, I think you can see that the roots of the tree of life, and then in the middle there's a serpent eating its own tail, and I think that's really interesting. Holding on to your dreams can feel like holding on to nothing at all because they are not here in reality. They exist in the ether of your imagination, which you alone are the bridge between. And while you are free to try and capture them, you will not always. You will often catch something different, something quite different from your original vision, sometimes so different that its beauty only resides in the eyes of others. Overall, I think Nikhil's book is a mix of Rumi's poetry and the philosophies of Stoic authors. And I'm not sure if that's what he was going for, but I know that he reads a lot because most of his poetries have quotes from other authors first. There's a quote by another author, and then he starts his poetry, which directly links to the quote that he wrote. He also has his own publishing house, and I'm really excited to see where his next book takes him. I hope you guys enjoyed this book recommendation, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video.